Hey, ¿qué pasa, Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. Like always, before we begin, I want to thank my sponsors, all those people that are sponsoring the podcast and giving me that opportunity to make it better, purchase more equipment or do other things to make the podcast better. I want to thank my friends Camilo, Jake, Edward Velasquez, and my newest sponsor, Ms. Norma Galindo. I also want to thank John Cabrera from Mercor, Eddie Lopez from Roots Creative, and my friends at Dents on Border. If you have any small dents or scratches on your car, make sure you contact Dents on Border. Also want to thank Sergio Tacos and Hotdogs. With 8 years of experience serving the Imperial, San Diego, and Yuma counties with Mexicali-style hot dogs and taquizas, contact Sergio at 760-562-0057 or just look for Sergio's Tacos and Hot Dogs on Facebook. Finally, I want to thank David Gastelum. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David. He's not only a realtor, but an investor with over 20 years of experience. He'll teach you along the way one of the most important investments of your life. So make sure you contact David. You could reach him on phone by calling 760-235-9576 or looking for David Gastelum on Facebook. Today's guest is a local business owner who is trying to help out our desperately in need small businesses in the downtown area. He's a resident of here, Calexico, and he has several businesses. My friend today is Jesus Gallardo. Thank you for being here today.
My genuine pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Before we begin into, the Calexico Independent Chamber of Commerce, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am a Calexico resident, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog, 06. And I started doing business when I was 20, my first store when I was 21 in front of 99 cents in Calexico. And from there, I've had several ventures that failed. Then there were some good, then failed again, and some good, until I found a way to just keep it business steady. And thankfully, now I make a living out of it.
Good. Yeah, I think in business is always a risk of, you invest all this money and sometimes, your idea might not be, something that, because sometimes like you have an idea that might work in another city or other places, but maybe here in this small town might not be, what the local merchants are looking for. You not recently, I think a while back, I saw that you started this Calexico Independent Chamber of Commerce. How long ago that you started this or had this idea?
The idea, I got it back in, I want to say September 2019. Then I stopped, 2018, I apologize. Then my business was booming. Everything was amazing. All my businesses were doing pretty good, actually. So I decided to just focus on my businesses. Then in September 2019, I said everything it's working good clockwise, so I don't have to be there as much or at all. So I decided to start working in the independent chamber. But then 2020 came up, coronavirus in March, so I had to stop everything. And then in November of 2020, I decided to redo it because I saw that we as a community in Calexico were failing businesses and we're failing people that I know personally that I have a relationship with business-wise around me. And I decided to step it up, start it again.
Okay. Yeah. And not to talk bad about, anybody from the local Chamber of Commerce or anything, but, when the whole pandemic started, I also, even though I'm not a business owner, just thinking about, the local businesses and the small business owners, especially here in Calexico, I thought, maybe there's something I can do. So I tried to reach out to the local Chamber of Commerce and, I went to their website and it was kind of sad looking website. And I noticed that, there was no new postings or no new information. I know that you were part of the Chamber of Commerce in Calexico. Can you tell me a little bit about your experiences with the local Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I was very, for lack of a better word, young when I joined the chamber. I'm going to say back in 2013, 14, when I paid my dues and went to every single meeting. Well, my experience was basic. I didn't know a lot, and I still don't, right? But I was looking for answers. I was looking to mix. I was looking to mingle, to learn from people that had the same mentality, at least in my head, mentality or the same goals, right? Business owning, marketing, learning, right? So I joined, and I was always very active. I've always wanted to help, and I started noticing that, well, the same people were always there, which it's fine, right? Because it's an organization with members, but I was not able to accomplish much. I was not able to learn as much as I would have liked to, even though I did meet amazing people. George back in the day, Jorge Alcantar, Josh back in the day, is an accountant, a very good friend of mine. Now he's the controller of the county. I met a lot of people that I learned a lot. I did find mentors, right? But I didn't really learn anything from the chamber itself, except, meeting people, which is amazing, mixers. But it's just not what I thought it was going to be. And every time that I had an idea, or I wanted to participate, or I wanted to be more involved in decisions, or whatever the case was, I would just set aside a little bit. I would always volunteer, but it's not the same, being at the events and helping out with whatever you can, or sponsoring. But I wanted to contribute in a more hands-on way, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah. And have you had a chance to talk to any of the other Chamber of Commerce from around the valley, like El Centro or Brawley?
Yes. The Brawley Chamber of Commerce has been amazing to me. I've had several meetings with them via Zoom and on the phone with Ramiro, and on how to do a chamber, or what are they currently doing, what are the plans, etc. I've reached El Centro, but didn't have as much luck. I've reached the other chambers, and some of them were just too busy, which I understand during the pandemic, right? Or post-pandemic or pre-pandemic. And I've learned everything I could from their Facebook sites and their websites on what they're doing, what they're currently doing, what their plans are, etc. So yeah, I reached to them.
Okay, yeah, because to be honest, I really don't know since I'm not a business owner, I really never, wanting to learn what a Chamber of Commerce is, but from speaking to the other Chamber of Commerce, do you know what their main goal or their the purpose is of a Chamber of Commerce?
Support and educate businesses. That's what a chamber does. They get us together. They, in theory, they are supposed to help business owners with whatever needs there are for the businesses, right? In case a business needs to hire X company or X kind of trade or business, the chamber should facilitate the connection between the businesses. If a business has questions about anything that it's business related to the city, to whatever situation arises, the chamber is supposed to give you that guidance, right? The chamber gets us together as the business community. And that's something that I loved about the El Centro Chamber of Commerce. I was never a very active member because I'm not from El Centro. I'd rather do it here in Calexico. But that's what I saw when I went to their events, to their courses, to their meetings, to their offices. Every time I went there with questions, I would get the answers.
Okay, I see.
Imperial too, actually. Imperial Chamber of Commerce too.
Yeah, and there's a county one, right? Or I think I interviewed but she's no longer there. What's her name? She went to San Francisco, but I think now Katie Luna is in charge of it. What's it called? It's the
joint chambers?
No, it's what's it called? Imperial Valley Small Business. It's Imperial Valley Small Business Development Center. Is that something similar to Chamber of Commerce, or have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it. I've met with them. I've actually used their services in the past, the IBDC. Yes, and they're not a chamber per se. They are a government-backed organization that goes through government rules 100%.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not an actual chamber, and they are an outlet of education, and they are an outlet of, they're a link, for like a liaison, for like a better word, with state programs, with education, etc.
Okay. And like you said, recently you started, investing more time and effort into your independent chamber of commerce. Can you tell us some of the things that you've recently been doing with your chamber?
Yes, I submitted the paperwork to become a 501c6 about 2 months ago. That's the biggest step that I had to start with. 2 years ago, but I didn't do it. And I've done commercials. I've done photo shoots for my fellow neighbors and businesses. I've done walkthroughs. I'm finishing up a directory for consumers and for businesses, like an emergency kind of thing. We've had a lot of break-ins in Calexico, right? And I am putting together a directory for our police department with the help of the chief, so that if something happens and the alarm company doesn't reach the business owner, the police can go to their home, because much information, it's not available to the police department in case it's needed. There have been times that something happens to a business and they can't get a hold of the business owner through the phone. So they should go to their home and tell them, like, hey, wake them up, and this happened, close your business, put up some boards, X. What else are we doing? I am getting the word out a lot with marketing online, and me literally going business to business with business cards, with little pamphlets on what our plans are, what are we trying to accomplish as a business community, as a business chamber. What else are we doing? That's pretty much it so far.
So, what are some of the businesses that you've gone able to be part of your chamber?
All downtown, and businesses that I can tell you are behind me, and I know I have their support. Don Roberto's Jewelry, Valencia Jewelry, Eddie's Fashion, Most First Street. I have a very good relationship with Wells Fargo. What else? The Copy Center on 4th. So pretty much most downtown already knows who I am.
Yeah.
And when there's problems, when we have break-ins or there's a problem with anything, they go to me. They tell whatever store owner is, whoever, they tell to go to me directly to my office. Some Melis has referred people to us. Thank you very much. Them.
Yeah, because I've known you since you were in junior high. I remember, you were a student there at the Anza. And then, I started seeing you on social media, and you're all over the place in downtown. Like, when it's like somebody burns a trash can, you're there.
Yes.
When, there's a break-in, you're there, and, all these situations. So, yeah, I know for sure that a lot of the local business owners do know you and do trust you. But, and going back to, transparency and making sure that, people know what you're doing. Like, you're a business owner yourself, and you're part of this chamber. How do you plan on making sure that people don't feel like, oh, he's probably gonna invest more time on his own businesses, or instead of the rest of the people that are here downtown?
Well, that's the thing. I've had several people call me, text me, WhatsApp me, Facebook me, saying that I just wanna rip off the city, that I just want to make money out of this, that it's just for my self-interest. First of all, I don't have the need. I don't need a salary from the thing. I don't need a profit from the thing, from the chamber. Mm. I don't. That's why I have businesses, and I'm gonna say it, I have successful businesses. I do, of course. I want to get paid for what I do. That's basically my job, right? Mm. But how much money can I make from a chamber, right? I don't need an income. The commercials that we've done, they're from my money. The photo shoots from my money. The advertising, it's from my money. I just placed an order for stickers and marketing materials for downtown, for the Calexico Shopping Center initiative, the platform, and stickers for business owners to put in their doors that say that you're being recorded, that you cannot come in with glasses with a hood on or a hat, right, for security. So everything that I've invested already, that I've purchased already, it's with my own money, and I don't really need. Well, I don't want to sound like arrogant.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I don't have the need for to make money out of it. Should I? Maybe I do if and only if I am working 100% 24/7 and my businesses start suffering, but I have pretty good staff. So I really don't need to build it. In the meantime, I haven't requested for a single dime to anyone. I paid everything myself. So to all the people that have concerns about this being a for-profit thing, it's not. It's a 501c6. Submitted paperwork is good to go. I really don't have the need. If I want money, or if I ever ask for money, one, it's because I have to. As a 501c6, I have to charge membership, which I will, of course. And even if you're not a member, you're still going to be part of the chamber. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Right? And if I ever request for money, it's to amplify what I currently do. Because if I'm able to do so much with my own money, with so little effort myself, imagine what I could do with more platforms, with a better budget, with an employee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was going to ask you. Like, it'll be great to have a little bit of money coming in so that you can hire people, because I mean, you have, like you said, you have your own businesses. You're doing this on probably like whenever you have spare time. So if you had somebody 100% that's doing it or helping you out with the chamber, I'm sure that you'll be able to accomplish way more that you're doing now.
Exactly. On the commercial that we did for the Calexico Shopping Center, which is the platform that I'm launching for Calexico downtown, midtown, and uptown, I've spent about, I want to say, $1,000 in the production and about $1,000 in Facebook advertising for the commercial and the photo shoot. So the video has over 25,000 views. That's an amazing thing for a local commercial, honestly. And imagine if I'm able to go to these businesses with an initiative of, hey, I'm gonna film, or we're going to shoot a commercial for this industry, for the restaurant industry, right? For the local restaurants that we have, which are 9 in total in Calexico. And I'm able to advertise it through the whole valley. There's a lot of people that want to go to eat, that don't like cooking, or they just want to go somewhere and they go to Mex, right? But there's a lot of people that are okay with paying more, right? And not going to Mex because they're going to have to make line or whatever the case is. Imagine what I could do with a budget. Not from my money. I'm not rich at all. By any means, I'm not rich. But what if I could spend, I don't know, if it's 9 businesses, 9 different clips, $100 each, $900 on Facebook advertising alone, plus my money, plus whatever I chip in, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and being somebody that earlier we were talking about, my podcast and on advertising and all that, I've gone to know and learn a little bit about how advertising, like on Facebook or Instagram, all that works, and yeah, it costs money to be able to spread the word if you want to do it through social media, and yeah, I mean, having that cash there to spend on advertising is big when it comes to especially local business. I feel that a lot of people here in our small community, especially in Calexico, a lot of people still use Facebook a lot. And yeah, that would be a great tool to advertise our local businesses.
Yes, and that's the key word, the marketing and the advertising. There are 2 new restaurants in Calexico that I went to personally that I loved, and people don't know about them. Like, none of my friends know where it was. I did an article actually on one of my Facebook sites about it. And I've told people, hey, go to this new restaurant. It's little tortas like the ones you go get to Mex. And they're not pricey at all. You save money paying a little bit more here than, gas, time, etc. And they just don't have that little push that a business needs, right? And a lot of businesses, new business owners, don't really believe in advertising or they don't have the budget to advertise. I think it should be my job to tell the world the most I can, or my set to my community about a new business, give them that little push. And once they see that it works, they are gonna believe in advertising and the marketing behind it. And they're gonna be able to attract more people and start investing more and maybe hire new people because of the work they're gonna need, right?
Yeah.
So I firmly believe in advertising, and I firmly believe that Facebook, it's the way to do it. When we did the commercial for the businesses that I've had in this photo shoot for the Calexico shopping center, the spokesperson, Jocelyn, she didn't know what Garland's had to offer. She didn't know the brands that were at Garland's. And it got me thinking. I'm like, she's from Calexico. She was raised here. And I started asking my friends, hey, dude, where do you buy this? Or do you know that Garland's offers this, this, and that? Oh, no, I always go to the outlets. Oh, no, I always go to the mall. Oh, no, I go to... It's like, no, bro, it's here in Garland's, right? A lot of people don't know about the new businesses and our current existing businesses. So my job is to advertise it, and once they see the results, they're gonna follow.
Yeah, and you know, to me, like it's also been the same way where I like to buy toys, and I don't know if you saw the background right now.
Yeah, I did.
So sometimes, yeah, like I remember one time I was walking downtown because I had to, I don't know, I saw a little shop that had a lot of the things that I normally buy online or go to the mall to buy, and they have a mirror, and they might be a little bit more pricier, but I'll save the trip, I'll save the shipping, and yeah, like you know, that's something that I always and look forward. But at the same time, it's the same thing. Like I don't know that these places are there. I don't know the kind of. I know there's shops down here and downtown, but I don't know what they're selling exactly. So like if I know, like you're saying you want to do like a catalog of the businesses, maybe show like pictures of what they're selling. No, that's you know something that I kind of look forward to.
Well, it's not only a catalog. I mean, that's a good thing, right? To have all the information in once, where you just go to a search engine or a local search engine and you type whatever you need. Oh, here's where I'm going to find it. Most people don't go through routes they don't know. And most people, if they're not familiar with marketing or advertising or Facebook at all, they just won't buy ads or they just won't market. I've seen stores all over the valley, that still believe in outlets that to me particularly are just not the return on investment. It's not as good as what we currently use. Downtown Calexico, for example, they rely, or they taught us to rely 100% in Mexican shoppers, Mexican nationals. So I always grew with this thing that, if Mexico one time decides to close the borders or the U.S., we're going to die. Without Mexican nationals, we're dead in the water. That's not really the case. But a lot of business owners in downtown with stores that emphasize in one service or product believed that. And there's this new generation of shoppers that don't know that Calexico exists, or there are many businesses in Calexico. I don't know if you know this, but there's a ferreteria here in Calexico that's called Econ.
Yeah.
Right? Most people go to Home Depot, which is fine. They go to Lowe's, which is fine. But Econ, which is a small business here in Calexico, has a lot of products to offer, but people just don't know. They still go the way to El Centro. Right, with Garland's, and that's the best example I can. Garland's has been here for like 70 years, no joke. And this new generation of shoppers, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 15, 20, 25, they don't know what Garland's has to offer. Why? Because they just go to the mall or they go to the outlets because of the marketing, because of the name. So once people know what each business has to offer, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna. And we're talking about local shoppers, not Mexican nationals, which I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But there's people in El Centro. There's people in Brawley. There's 189,000 people in a county. If we market to them, I'm pretty sure we would be able to get more people to buy our services and products.
Yeah, for sure. I know recently you were at a city council meeting talking about your chamber. What was it that you wanted to ask the city and the city council for?
What I wanted to accomplish?
Yeah.
Know that I exist, that they're gonna start hearing a lot more from me. I know they have because of social media again. And I wanted to tell them that if I'm able to accomplish what I believe it's a substantial amount of success doing this with little recognition, imagine what I could do if I had the city of Calexico back me down, if I had the commissions back me down. When I go to businesses and present the idea, many of them have this mentality that, oh no, chamber, no, I don't want anything to do with the chamber. Or Calexico, no, I don't want anything to do with the government. I'm like, hey, yo, it's not through the city. It's not through the chamber. This is an independent thing, right? But I do want the city as a partner so that we can, they can gain the trust of the business community again, right? No, don't demonize this. Oh, it's coming from the city. I just don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it. Which maybe it happened for a reason.
Yeah.
But if I'm able to get the city as a partner, to get even the old chamber as a partner, or whoever wants to partner up and have the same goals and objectives to work together, I'll be more than happy to work with. And when I went there, I presented this idea that if I'm able to do it myself, as a private citizen, as a local business owner, imagine what I could do if I had the city behind me or behind the organization itself. That's what I wanted to accomplish.
Okay. And what has been the feedback after you were at the city council meeting?
It's been pretty good. I've had a lot of people support me. I've had a lot of messages like, hey, it's amazing what you want to do. Whenever you need volunteers, whenever you need bodies to help, whenever you need anything, please give me a call. Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. I've had people attack me, of course. I've had people just asking me a lot of questions, like to get information, I guess. And a lot of people not okay with it, with the way I'm doing things. But the feedback itself, from what I feel, the public and the community has been pretty good. From our local officials, most of the time they just don't want to comment. They just say, good job, continue doing it, or whatever. Yeah, because they don't want to take a side, I guess. I don't know. But the feedback so far, it's been pretty good, honestly. That's especially good. From a couple of council members and city management.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's not I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody who was in the Calexico chamber, but my biggest thing was I felt that right now with that pandemic, I was gonna see like other cities where I've seen the Chamber of Commerce step up and help out these local small business owners, and I was a little bit I'm gonna say I was a little bit disappointed in the sense that there wasn't much right now it's close, I guess. I don't know what the status really. I think it's up in the air what really is going to happen with the Chamber of Commerce or the local Chamber of Commerce. But I was looking to help them, but there was no one there to help. So that was my experience as somebody that was trying to reach out to the Chamber of Commerce to kind of help out our local business owners. So like I said, I don't want to talk bad about anybody or if anybody else had an experience. It's just my experience with wanting to help out was kind of sad. I was a little bit sad because, like I said, there was no one there to help out the people I kind of wanted to help out.
And we're not talking just about the chamber. No governmental entity. I have to be very careful with what I'm going to say. No governmental entity, private or public, went to my shops and said, yo, what do you need? This is the education you need. This is happening, or the pandemic is happening. We have to close you down, whatever the case is. These are your options. No one. Mm-hmm. One day, just the police showed up on March 23rd or 27th or 20th. Or the first week, the 20-something of March, just the police went to my stores and to my offices, and they said, everyone out, close everything down. And imagine being a business owner with all your employees, right, preparing for next week. I mean, what do you do, right? I went through the county. I went through the city. I went to everyone that I could think about to find answers, and no one was there. And I understand because, I mean, I've never lived a pandemic. The last pandemic that we had at this scale was, 100 years ago?
Yeah.
So, no one knew how to react, which I understood. But then months came by. March, April, May, June, July, August. As businesses, we did have a moratorium thing, that state thing.
Yeah.
That they couldn't kick us out. But, I mean, we still owed rent. Right? We still owed utility, etc. So not finding answers and not even not being heard, that's what sucks. Not finding answers, it's understandable. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what was going on, right? It's human. But not being able to find someone to answer the phone, to give you a little heads up on what's going on, that really struck me as in someone has to do something, because I wasn't the only one. And I'm 32. I consider myself a pretty smart guy. So I Googled what other cities were doing, what other counties were doing, and I would give that information to my neighbors, to my business friends. I would try to give some sense of what's going to happen, what's about to come. But no one else did it. And I'm not blaming anyone. It's understandable. But it sucks not being able to find answers, or at least get your voice heard a little bit and give you some sense of security, as in, okay, X thing is happening. Just wait it out. Or just being listened to. The Chamber of Commerce from Raleigh, they opened the Imperial Valley Pandemic Task Force, I'm gonna say, and they were an outlet of education. They were in constant contact with the county, with the state of California, giving these Zoom courses back in, I'm gonna say, May, June, during the summer. They were the only entity all the way from Raleigh that actually tried and, to my sense, achieved into helping as many people as they could. The problem, though, was that I learned about them because I use Facebook a lot, and I use the internet a lot. Most business owners from mid and downtown really don't do anything about that, so they didn't know. That's the only thing that I would say that maybe they were lacking. The rest, they were amazing. They would help me with, they would answer questions to the best of their ability, the best they could. But besides that, I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm, like I said, I'm not a business owner, small business owner, but I know people that own businesses that were struggling to pay bills, not only for their businesses, but at home. Like, that's their income. That's where where they live from. But yeah, and like I said, it was a little bit upsetting to know that there was really no one there to help our local businesses.
And imagine that being, even as a private citizen. I'm like I said, I live in Calexico. I'm a bulldog, 100%. No one from anywhere really. I just didn't see what I thought should have been done. I'm very young. I try to take care of my health, and it didn't cost me anything to go out and try to help the community itself, walking around, doing what I thought had to be done, going through businesses like, hey, what do you need? Then we got this break-ins starting about, I want to say 2-3 months ago, because criminals realized that they were not going to jail, right? That they were not getting booked, no matter how many times they were caught. A non-violent crime didn't get you booked. So during the pandemic, I was always walking around, going to businesses, asking them like, hey, what's going on? What do you need? How you doing? How you holding up? Trying to get people the help they needed with the tools that we were giving. I went to businesses, helping them out with their PPP applications, the payment protection program from the feds, with the EIDL loans too, the grants, everything that was available online. I would go to businesses and help them out with the apps, help them out with what I thought at least was what they needed at the time. So it is upsetting as a business owner and as a citizen that I had to do it myself personally. Right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So if there's any local business here in Calexico that kind of heard about you, but they're still like undecided to join, what would you want to tell them?
That the word independent in our name, Calexico Independent Chamber of Commerce, it's not independency from other organizations. It's not independency as, oh, I don't need anything from anyone. That would be a very arrogant thing to say, especially if you're an organization that wants to help, right? It's independency from the last names, from the oligarchy, from the reputation. It's independency from strings. I don't owe anything to anyone. You can be a one person business and I will help you the same way I would help a $3 million business. Why? Because the independency that I'm fighting for, or that I claim that I have, is that I just don't owe any favors to anyone in the city or in the community or in the business community. So don't be afraid of reaching out to me if you have questions about anything. If I don't know the answer, I will Google it for you. Literally, I will Google it for you, or try to find someone that knows about that specific topic. If you need anything, again, that you are not sure about, contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you. I posted on Facebook what I am good at and what I can do for your business as a micro business or a bigger business. I'll be more than happy to help you in any way I can. And I can promise you this: I'm not looking for a paycheck from this. Of course, I want to get paid for my time. Of course, I mean, if I'm going to have my businesses, of course. But I really don't have a need to make $100,000 from this. I don't have a need to make $50,000 from this. I mean, just join me if you want to help. Join me in the same justified cause, which is moving forward and doing something from our city.
Yeah, and I'll put the links to Facebook and all these things. But if people want to reach out to you, where can they do it?
They can reach me via WhatsApp to my phone number. 1 second. 442-297-3952. They can text me, WhatsApp me. They can Facebook us as Calexico Independent Chamber of Commerce, of course. And you're going to see the links to our WhatsApp. And they can call me. They can go to my office. I use one of my stores as a storefront, and then in the back I have my office. It's 140 Heffernan Avenue. I'm there most of the time in the morning. Then in the afternoon, it's not really. I'm outside working. But call me, text me, Facebook me, visit me, ask me questions, whatever you need, whatever you want to tell me. If you want to help me, if you have questions about what I want to do, my mission, my vision, please, I'll be more than happy to help in any way I can.
Yeah. All right. Well, something that since I've known you as a student at De Anza, because you're class of 06, so we're only 6 years in age difference. But something that I've always known from you is that you're really outspoken, and I feel that for a while, especially when you're a student, I kind of like, this kid is really outspoken, kind of loud. But I feel that now, like, you're using that your outspokenness for something really good. Like I said, I see your social media posts, and when you're out and about in downtown, I know that you have a big love for downtown. That's like your tu barrio, your neighborhood. That's where you,
yes.
I'm pretty sure that you walk around downtown and everybody knows you, and
yes.
and yeah, I think that I support you 100% in what you're doing. And like I said, it's because I know that you care. And because you live it, you breathe it, you eat it. That's that downtown is you. And I feel like a lot of us say, oh, downtown is struggling, it's really bad. But at the end of the day, I don't feel that none of us put as much effort as you do in trying to revive it and make it what it was when. Because like when I grew up, I remember going literally we didn't have the mall, we didn't have the outlets. So if I needed a new pair of pants, I would go downtown. If I needed a new pair of shoes, I would go to downtown. Everything, downtown was where we went for everything. And I feel that
yes.
We've kind of diverted from that, and I feel that we need to go back to that instead of just saying it like, oh, we need to help out downtown. I feel that we need to do more instead of just saying it, and I feel that you're doing a huge part of making Calexico's downtown a thing again.
Well, remember this. It's not just downtown. It's not just my block, Heffernan, or first or second. It's every single business in Calexico. I've been part of commissions. I've been a volunteer.
You froze. You there? Hold on, it's because you froze. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh man, he froze. Hello? Hello, hello?
Get things done. You have to do it yourself. And no one is going to back you up until you show results. That's the biggest. So I wanted to do this by myself to show everyone that it is doable. And just like parenthesis in my statement, I don't want to get Calexico to the way it was because it's impossible. Right? We don't have the same shopping strategies. We don't have the same buying. I mean, even us that we had 20 years ago when we didn't have the mall, when we didn't have the outlets, 10 years ago, things change.
Yeah.
But what I do want to accomplish is integrate them. Online shopping, online sales, that's one of my biggest things, right? Marketing it to the right people. Mexican nationals are going to shop here as soon as they can cross. Yes, they will. I know that for a fact. And our businesses are going to go way better again. But if I'm able to show my city, my community, that Imperial Valley has 189,000 people that we can market to. We have Yuma too when they go to SD. And then we have the Mexican nationals crossing again. Our economy is going to get way better. So just to summarize this very important point. I don't want I know I can't make Calexico the way it was. I know that for a fact, right? Especially when we have this huge businesses, which is amazing. They bring a lot of jobs in our city. But what we can do moving forward is adapt to what it can be, where we advertise every single business or the platform of Calexico Shopping Center to not just Mexican nationals, but to our internal community of the other adjacent cities.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's my idea. That's my vision. What it can actually be, and the integration of both, demographics.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for being on the podcast. I really appreciate the conversation. I really appreciate what you're doing for our local business owners, and you spending all your time and an effort in all this. And I want to invite everybody to, who's a business owner that, might be thinking about joining the Independent Chamber of Commerce, reach out to Jesus and, ask away. I think, and I don't say this in a bad way, but he likes to talk and conversate, especially when you're another business owner. I feel that, something that I've learned as a podcast host is networking is a huge thing to grow your business. And even though I don't see my podcast as a business, but it's kind of like in the same mentality, if you want to make it grow, I got to talk to other people and spread the word. And I feel that Jesus is really good at networking and talking to other people. And if you need to reach out to, if you have a question, he doesn't know it, but he knows somebody that might know it, he'll get you in contact with that person.
That's mixing, yes.
And like I said, thank you again for being on and sharing what you're doing. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you might be taking this little time away from your businesses, but I really appreciate the conversation.
Don't worry about it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the invite, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And you'll see more of me on Facebook, and you'll see good things on Facebook.
No, like I said, yeah, I spend a lot of time on social media because that's how I find a lot of my guests. There's a lot of people that do a lot of cool things in our community, and I see them when they post them on social media. So that's my source of looking for guests. And also people reaching out to me. But
Jose, something that I've learned again during this pandemic, you'll see a lot from us, because when we had all this coronavirus thing and all everything that went on, right? You're gonna see a lot from us because we are doing way more than anyone expected. When I first had this idea of an independent chamber, people laughed. People started like, "Oh, you're crazy. Oh, why are you gonna waste your time? Oh, you just want to make money. Oh, all these negative things, right?" You're gonna start seeing a lot of us and our videos and our things go viral because I believe that there's a lot more happy people or people that are willing to put in the work or are willing to support our cause than the mean, derogative, bad-wordy, negative people. So when you see my posts, our posts and videos go viral, it's because there's a lot more good people in Calexico that want everyone to thrive and succeed than the negatives and that believe that Calexico is doomed because it's Calexico. You'll see a lot. You're gonna hear and see a lot from us. I can promise you this: by 2022, by next year, where Calexico is gonna be headed to the right direction through my community. You'll see.
Well, I do hope so, and then good luck with that for sure. Once again, thank you for being on. Thank you guys for listening or watching. Once again, thank you to all my anchor sponsors. Remember to stay safe, wear your face mask, wash your hands, social distance as much as you can. We're still in a pandemic, even though we're a little bit more, I guess, it's a little bit less stressful, but we're getting in there. If you want to get vaccinated, I'm not saying you need to, but if you want to, there's a lot of ways where you can find a vaccine. They're out there, so make sure you go find them and stay safe. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.